Hi everybody, welcome to another Tuesday Talk. Today the topic is going to be yerba mate, and I'm going to be talking about some comments that were left on my last video and bust a few myths, I hope. If you don't know me, my name is Anita and I'm from ketogenicwoman.com. I've lost 145 pounds following a low carb / keto / carnivore way of eating for a number of years. So let's get into the topic. I did publish a video about a week ago about how I'm drinking yerba mate now instead of coffee. I quit coffee on October 1st, 2024. And this is what I'm having now in the mornings, along with some apple cider vinegar water. I have this also in the afternoons. So that's what it is now, and I'm drinking that now. So I did not expect that video to create so much activity. It created a lot of comments and concerns. And so I wanted to address the most common ones because some of them were just, they were repeat questions and concerns from a lot of people. So clearly there's some issues that need to be discussed. And I did, I didn't just willy-nilly decide to drink yerba mate tea instead of coffee. And so I felt it deserved a little more of an explanation as to why I made that switch, why I think it's good for me. It may or may not be good for you, and that's fine. Do what is right for you. But let's get into it. So quite a few people said, well, you've just gone from drinking one caffeinated drink to another. What was the point? So yeah, definitely yerba mate has caffeine, and so does coffee. And I think yerba mate even, could have almost as much caffeine as coffee. Now, the issues that the reason I decided that I needed to let go of the coffee, there was three things that were bothering me. One was the connection to digestive issues. If you've been following me a while, you know that I have had a lifelong battle. I was even on a prescription medication for 15 years for my acid reflux issues, and I also had accompanying digestive issues, that still plagued me even into a few years of doing keto. So coffee is linked to that. That was one reason. The other reason is the mold, and like coffee beans are linked to mold, and that is through storage, travel, improper handling, all that sort of thing. The mold in the coffee beans can lead to a substance called, I gotta pronounce it here. You guys know how much I love pronouncing these long words. Mycotoxins, or maybe it's pronounced mycotoxins or I don't know. mycotoxins. These can cause various health issues. So my apprehension with coffee was digestion, the mold, and toxicity. And those were the main reasons. So yerba mate does have caffeine, and it has less caffeine than something like black tea and many of the other teas. But it is a different type of caffeine. It is not. I don't get any kind of jitteriness or anything like that. It's more of that it gives me energy, but it doesn't give me a jolt. It's kind of a slow burn of caffeine. That still does not mean that you should or should not have it if you may be someone who's really sensitive to it, and so all you can really do is try and see how you react to it. But yeah, it was not the caffeine that caused me to stop drinking coffee. It was other reasons, including that I went on Lion Diet, and caffeine or coffee is not allowed on Lion Diet. So if I was to go on Lion Diet tomorrow, I would also give up the yerba mate because that's ruminant meat, water, and salt. So those are the reasons for giving up the coffee. Okay, The number two comment that I got was, did you know that yerba mate causes cancer? So yeah, I did look that up, and the cancer risks are for people what they describe as 1 to 2 liters a day, large quantities over a long period of time. Now, the 1 to 2 liters a day would be like at full strength. I'm brewing my yerba mate at a lesser strength than what it says on the bag. I'm making a weak solution of it, and I'm having my 2 big mugs of it, and that's it. That's all I have in a day. The other thing is that the research that was brought up, it shows an association, but as we all know, association does not equal causation. The other thing that was noted is that people who drink yerba mate also tend to be smokers. And so, did that play a part? I don't know, and I'm not bothered by it because I'm not a smoker, I'm not a drinker of alcohol. The only thing I'm doing now is drinking my 2 big mugs of, weaker solution yerba mate. There was also some notes about if you drink it too hot, it can cause some, throat issues. Again, I do pour the boiling water over the leaves. I let it steep. It takes me about an hour to drink that thing, and it's pretty cold by the time I get halfway through it. I'm just not that concerned. I appreciate that you guys are concerned for me, but I'm just not concerned. One thing I do want to mention, though, I made sure to get the organic fresh leaf kind, because you can get some that are called dark roast, but it's got other stuff in it. You can also get some that are called smoked. And I didn't trust that process either. I didn't really, just organic fresh leaves, I felt pretty safe about that. Okay, the number 3 thing was yerba mate has oxalates. Yes, all plants have oxalates. It is not a high number of oxalates. So when I looked it up, it's 30 milligrams of oxalates per 100 grams of yerba mate. So I took my little, cup here, and I measured out 4 teaspoons of leaves. So usually I just have 3 total, but sometimes I do have 4. So I went with the full 4 teaspoons. I weighed it on my scale. It comes out to 7 grams. I'll put it up on the screen, but I off the top of my head, I'm getting about 2 grams of oxalates through the amount of tea that I'm measuring out and drinking. But it will be up on the screen once I confirm those numbers. It's going to be very, very low. In Sally Norton's book, where she talks extensively about oxalates, she says to follow a low oxalate plan of eating. The safest is under 60 grams. So if I'm having, under 10 grams, and it's probably even lower than that, I'm just not worried about the oxalates. To me, it's not an issue. So there's that one. So the 4th comment that I got is a lot of people were asking or thinking that it is a type of green tea. They were saying, well, I already drink green tea, so I think I will get the benefits. And yes, there are actually many benefits to green tea. Some people attribute it to fat loss and lowering blood sugar, just helping with all these things that those of us that have been on this journey for a while are trying to deal with. So nothing against green tea. The reason I specifically chose yerba mate is because, as I mentioned in the earlier video, that Ben Bickman and some of the other doctors, Nick Norowitz, they're talking about the link between yerba mate and increasing the GLP-1 receptors in our bodies. We naturally make GLP-1s, which is what Ozempic and all those other, diet drugs are all about. This is a natural way to do it. Some of us who have been obese for a long time, or we've had, insulin resistance for decades, our GLP-1 receptors are broken or not working very well, or whatever the case is. This is supposed to help that. So they play a part in regulating your blood sugar and reducing your appetite. It is not a magic weight loss tea, definitely not. But for me, what it has been doing is it helps me to maintain my 18 hours of fasting, 6-hour eating window. So I'm finding I can do that with quite, relatively easy compared to when I wasn't having anything. I was always kind of thinking about food. So it has kind of stabilized that for me. And again, your mileage may vary. It may have no effect on you. It may have the opposite effect on you. I don't know. You just won't know unless you try and see, if it does indeed work for you. So they have found that it does work, for some people, in their studies. So to me, I felt like, well, it's worth a shot. It's not, an overly pricey thing to buy. I'm Canadian. I pay more for pretty much everything. And this bag is $20 Canadian. So, to me, it seemed like it was worth a shot. So the green tea, even though it does have, all those other benefits, and a lot of people like it and drink it, it isn't quite the same thing. I specifically chose the Yerba Mate because of those studies with the GLP-1s. I didn't find any comparative studies for the other green teas and for matcha, as good as those are. Last thing to address is, will drinking this break a fast? So apparently not, and it also, I guess in a way, it depends on what kind of fasting you're doing. If you're doing a metabolic fast where you're wanting to have autophagy, around hour 16 is when the autophagy kicks in. That's why I'm trying to go to 8 hours. I think that's what a lot of us are doing it for. So my understanding is it does not break a fast. And I was watching a video the other day from Ben Azadi, and he was saying that if you're measuring your ketones and your blood glucose, and in your fast, as you get towards the end of your fast, if your ketones are going up and your blood glucose is going down, you're in autophagy. So the other day I did a test and I measured my blood glucose and my ketones before I drank my first sip of the tea. And this is also had, I put allulose in it because allulose is another item that plays a role with your GLP-1 receptors. So I have them together, just to, because I think it might work better together. I don't know, I could be wrong there. However, together is how I tested it. So my starting blood glucose was 72, and my starting ketones were 2.1 when before I took my first sip of the tea. After a couple of hours, after I had a couple of big cups of the tea, and then, when I was finished, I tested an hour later, my blood glucose was 62, 10 points less, and my ketones were 2.2. So not much of a rise there, but certainly a huge drop in the blood glucose after drinking the 2 cups of yerba mate plus cellulose. So I feel I am marked safe from breaking my fast. And again, I want to say your mileage may vary. If you have any way of testing these things, you should. Don't take my word for it. Try to find a way to test yourself and see how your body reacts to it. For me, so far so good. It is helping me in the areas that I wanted it to help, and it may or may not for you. I just wanted to clear up those 5 common issues that were creeping up on my comments and causing people some concern. I myself am not concerned about any of them, as hopefully I've shown you. But you have to do what's right for you and how your body reacts. So thank you for watching today's Tuesday Talk, and we'll see you guys next time for another topic. Thanks.
I'm good with that. I'm good with. Those are. Hang on. I gotta do some math that I forgot to do. Hang on here. Those oxalates are, so 100 divided by those 30 equals 3 milligrams of oxalates per 100 grams. I'm screwing up the math here. I just know it. Okay, thank you. I was doing it on my phone. So there's 30 100 divided by milligrams of oxalates per 100 grams. So that means I'm screwing up the math here. I just know it. So enter 100, divide, enter 7 times. Can you check my math here? 100 divided by 10 grams of yerba mate here. 30 milligrams of oxalates per 100 divided by grams of yerba mate. I've got 7. So I took the 30, divided it. Say, I'll put it up on the screen and we'll calculate it afterwards. How about that? Okay. I'm good with that.